I'm going to jam in one more. Jaja in New York. You're on the air worldwide.
What's up, Alex? How
Hi.
you doing today?
Good.
Those stampedes, first of all, it's totally third world. I used to live in Brazil, and that is totally typical of a third world mentality. So we are degenerating. Now, I gotta.
No, we are becoming a third world nation.
We're totally becoming.
And everything that comes with it.
It's slowly brainwashing people, and they think it's okay, and people are going to get used to it, and then you're going to see it, and then they're not even going to talk about it on the news, okay? But let me tell you something. An ex-boyfriend of mine got in touch with me. He's a FEMA project officer. I hit him with a whole bunch of information, and I said, you work for the devil. And he hit me back, and he used to be a punk rocker. He got me on the phone. He told me he'd seen a lot of stuff, and I got all the information today. He said that basically he's an engineer, he's an electrician. He's a head of company there. They're totally compartmentalized over there, and they're totally kept where they don't know certain things. They have shopping centers all over the United States that they're keeping off limits. They have armed guards, and he has cards and everything, and even if they see them every day.
No, that's been in the news. They're moving in bunks and generators into power plants. Stay there. I want to hear more about it after the news. Will you hold through the news with us?
Of course.
All right, put her on hold, Jaja. And we'll get to Ian, David, Ralph, Mike, and many, many others when the second hour continues. And folks, they've trained you to not get mad. They've trained you to not get upset. They've trained you to not stand up. You're only allowed to get mad about the BCS rankings. You're only allowed to care about football and baseball instead of really getting angry about enslavement and tyranny. You're meant to get angry about that. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Jaja in New York. She was talking to a friend who's an engineer with FEMA, talked about how compartmentalized it is, how secretive it is. But mainstream news reports they built FEMA camps, continuity of government. They've secretly hired 26,000 preachers on government payroll to teach their flocks to turn in their guns, submit to government. We're being set up as the chumps, so when the public finds out that tens of trillions have been stolen, it's 7.8 trillion right now, but it will be tens of trillions, by foreign banks in control of our government, there'll be nothing we can do because a police state will be in place. And it'll be okay because it'll be Barack Obama carrying it out, not that wicked George Bush who helped set it all up because they're on the same team. Jaja, go ahead and tell me what your friend at FEMA was telling you was going on.
So what I think, Alex, is that all the trillions are going right to FEMA because what he said to me was that they have boundless amounts of money. They give them cash, dinners, hotels, apartments, extra money. If something's for $1,000, they're trying to give you $10,000. Everybody's hush-hush up about everything. He was nervous. He thought, not nervous, suspicious. He said something else is going on.
Well, that's why FEMA locked down, wouldn't let the National Guard, wouldn't let Walmart, speaking of the devil, wouldn't allow the Coast Guard to bring food in. They wanted it to fall apart, and this has come out, so they could demand more power and more money. But go ahead.
Yeah, because what their whole concept is the more facilities they create is because the more they're expecting pandemonium, and when all hell breaks loose, that's what they're trained.
But let's be clear, this has all been engineered. Just like the IMF and World Bank have done this in Iceland and Argentina and countless other countries, they're setting that up here. You understand? They've engineered the collapse. Then they will pose as the saviors, and things will get so bad the middle class will beg for tyranny.
I explained this to him today. His mind was totally blown away. And I said to him, because I was talking about the disasters, and he said to me, yeah, they always said that 2008 had the most amount of natural disasters ever on Earth, on this planet. And, with 1,400 tornadoes, and with 1,500 fires, and all these crazy...
And a lot of that is the declassified weather weapons programs.
Well, of course. And I said to him about HARP, and I explained...
By the way, the Secretary of Defense admits it. Going back to Cohen, you just haven't read the Army Times. They admit they have weather weapons, and they've had them...
And Yeah, and he said that he overheard HARP a few times from the higher-ups, and he didn't quite figure it out. And when I explained it to him, he said, well, now I'm really going to keep my ears open. And
But what else did he say? They have shut down shopping malls, shut down facilities everywhere?
Yes, everywhere, in more places than you could imagine. He's on the plane all the time. He's actually trying to help people assess things and give people money for all the damage that they've created by HARP, And actually, he said that there's something going on. They've already planned. They said that there's something going to be happening in the Dakotas. There's an earthquake warning. And this is very serious because they're all talking about it. And then he also said that he is personally they're building a lot of facilities now in Idaho. But, he's helping people over in Baton Rouge and over in Ike. But
yeah, they're helping them by confiscating their guns like they did.
Well, yeah, totally, yeah, right. Not this guy, but
No, I understand.
anyway.
It's all compartmentalized, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, but he didn't even know. He was like, "What?" And then but he did. We was told once that that he has a government phone and it's monitored by Mount Weather. And if you do anything wrong, he said, the higher up said you're out. And he
That's
gives
right.
him a look. I said, "Well, was he joking?" He says, "No." This is what kind of wrong look? Mount
Well, no, that's
Weather.
why that's why ABC News a month ago announced, yes, we listen to the government. People have phone sex. We listen to the public have phone sex. They said that specifically to humiliate the public and to throw it in our face that we're all being watched. Again,
well, I had spoken to a Time Warner guy in my neighborhood, and I said, "So what's with the new digital boxes?" I said, "Do they have cameras in them or what?" He said, "Actually, they do, but they're only being used in certain. They all have the facilities and the feature to do it, but only in certain areas."
Look, 15 years ago, the Scientific Atlantic cable box had a microphone in it. Nobody was even told about it. And remember TiVo?
Yeah, of course.
They admit that they track everything you watch and what you do, and it's used for marketing. Good to hear from you. I'm going to jam one more in here. Let's go ahead and go to Mike in New Jersey. You're on the air, Mike.
How you doing, Alex?
Good.
Yeah, my wife and her daughter, they went to Walmart, and it was like Black Friday and stuff like that, and they had 3 incidents that were over there where they're stealing the pocketbooks off the women and stuff like that, and she only recurs only like 3, but there could have been more over there.
Yeah, the whole society's unraveling. The government's corrupt. The people are corrupt. And then the good people have been trained to accept it and be passive.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And one other question before I go, and on Obama, do you think that it's possible if things don't work out that they may also assassinate him to create another, incident in the United States?
Anybody that doesn't follow New World Order crime syndicate orders is killed in their system. That's Absolutely. Why they killed Kennedy. But Obama, look at who he's appointed. A bunch of the very bankers, Robert Rubin's people, Summers, all of them, the very people that changed the Glass-Steagall Act to allow the banks to leverage, to allow them to sell these AAA-rated junk securities. The very people that caused this are the ones now coming into power. And he's saying he's going to warmonger. He's going to keep spying on us without warrants. He's going to have domestic spy forces. I mean,
he'll go against his own people.
They control both parties.
I hear you. Listen, I won't take any more of your time. It was very nice talking to you.
Hey, great hearing from you, sir. I really appreciate your call. All right, I'm going to talk to David, Ralph, Paul, Ian, and many others when we get back. The number to join us is 877-590-5525. And, I get in here on this short show on Sunday, and it's even a little bit more fired up than my weekday show. On the weekday show, I'm really able to, from 11 to 3 p.m. every day, to really go over everything in more detail. I mean, there's so much news I've got here. I would love to talk for just 2 hours today about the fact that the Associated Press is reporting 90% of the baby formula consumed in the United States has melamine in it. Melamine, poison. It is deadly poison. And nothing's being done about it. Nothing's stopping. I mean, they overnight could change the procedures and not have this happen, but they just don't care. Not to mention the plastics that we drink out of have the estrogen-mimicking hormones, and that's what's giving women the breast cancer. That's what's making men feminine and not masculine. We'll break it all down when we get back. And your phone calls right here on the Alex Jones Show. Infowars.com.